kill Logan. Okay. So the last video, which I just recorded, got a little deep. So, more than I wanted it to. So we're gonna go ahead and talk about some of my OCs, my original characters that I have for fanfiction. One of them I completely forgot about that I don't think I've actually written for. She's just kind of there. But I will still talk about her a little bit. I don't remember. I mean, I have a little excerpt about who she is. So let's start off with the main one that I've been kind of. So these first two are for Supernatural. First one is Harmony. So kind of a little excerpt to give on my quote tab. So it's on this tablet. Hey, the name's Harmony. My family includes my dad, Dean, my uncle Sam, my grandma Mary, and grandma Mara, and Gastiel. I am 17, so this is earlier. I grew up with Jess. She was like the sister I never had. I met my dad when Jess died. They took me in, and I'm so happy about that. Oh, and I almost forgot. I'm Nephilim. My mom was an angel. She's a Mars daughter. That makes God my great uncle. So a little bit more about Harmony is there's two versions of her story. The one version is the one I'm actually tapping out and doing as an actual fic. Where she's with Sam and Dean basically from the beginning of the show, and she kind of grows up with them. She doesn't tell them who she is. She tells John before he dies and all that jazz. But she never straight out tells her dad or her uncle or Bobby about who she is at all until Castiel shows up, because Cass kind of spills the beans because it's Cass. The other version of her story is she does not join them until Jack is around. So she doesn't join until season 13? It's 12 or 13, it's one of the two. But she had been talking to Cass for a bit, because we also didn't know what was going on. No, hang on. Yeah, because it's after Cass comes back from the empty. She found Cass somehow on Tumblr. My friend who I call Sammy, the one I talked about in the last video, we were talking about stuff, and we decided to do that on Tumblr. I will link the first part onto I'll link the first set of typings on there. If you guys want more, let me know. I will link the rest of them down, and actually I'll just link I will link the last part that we did into the first comment, because there's a link to all the other ones in there. So she's feisty. She has the mark of Cain, so basically Mars mark, on the back of her neck. Her mom also had it on the back of her thigh. So for each of them, they all have it in a different place, just because it's easier. Harmony has her dad's green eyes, but she also has this long black hair. Her mom has darkish brown hair, but she could have easily been Harmony could have been a blonde baby, easily. However, excuse me, because of the darkness inside of her father, and that came from her mother, her hair is black as night, because I thought that would be fun to do. She's all for her dad and Cass to get together, have a little spicy time, because that's what I like saying. As well as, depending on which version, I mind doing both versions, I've always said. Because as much as I love Eileen, I still love Cass and Gabe. Not Cass and Gabe, Sam and Gabe. Oh, I think I was singing the dick on dick scene. If any of you know what that is reference to, please let me know if you got that dick on dick reference, because it's funny, and only because it made I saw that, and that was my first thought was dick on dick. Anyway, I'll laugh if this gets flagged because of that comment. Anyway, so she has she's totally chill. She hates Chuck First off, like she's never liked her great uncle at all. Yeah, she hates him so much, especially after what happens with Jack. She's like, I'm gonna stab a bitch, which is like very like relation to Dean. So that's her little thing. Then we have Trixie, who I completely forgot was a character I made. So Hattie the name's Trixie, because I feel like in my head she kind of has like a southern accent. My family includes my dad, Gabriel, all the angels, and mostly Castiel. I am 27. I grew up with my dad. That was until he met the Winchesters. So, it would be the Tall Tales episode. When I first met Sam, I got this huge crush on him. I started to travel with them and I started to date Sam. Cass found it weird. I told him that he should look at him and Dean, and he got confused. I love my family, but seriously, this family is filled with idiots and people who don't know how to take a freaking joke. So I don't know much about my idea with Trixie, but she's definitely oh, that's right, she's the trickster's daughter. Okay. I got my own joke with her name. Wow, that took me longer than I should have just remember. I haven't looked at this yeah, so she goes by Trixie Novak. And I also wrote Trixie Novak. So and then we have from Shadowhunters, and I'm specifically talking Shadowhunters over Oral Instruments, just because that's what I was mostly used to. The name is Bane, Juliet Bane. I can't do a New York accent. And yes, before you come at me that Magnus cannot have biological children at all. In my version, he can, only if he's cursed, and same with any warlock or vampire or any werewolf. They can have kids with any Shadowhunter if they are cursed by some sort of warlock or if they ask a warlock to do it. Because I think that was funny. So, mostly just because I like the idea of a kid who's related to Magnus being related to another character I'm about to bring up in some way is hilarious to me. Because it's funny. So, my family includes Magnus, who is my dad, Alec Lightwood, Isabel Lightwood, Jace Wayland, and yes, she calls him Jace Wayland still, even after they find out he's in Harrowdale. Claire Frey, my cousin, Jocelyn Frey, my aunt, Valentine, my uncle, sadly. And yes, Valentine's sister, because I think I think it is Canada, he has a sister, I don't remember. But I made him have a sister, at least in this version, and she ran away from him to stay away. Ended up in New York. Kind of ran the institute for a while with the Lightwoods. Talked to Maris and Robert for the longest time didn't know until like one of Juliet's birthdays. Oh, they were pissed. Like Maris mostly, just because she's like, oh my god, like what the hell? Because I think in my head, she wanted Alec and her to be together because that fits. But then she finds out that she's half warlock, and not to mention that her dad is Magnus frickin' Bane. So, but she fully supports Alec and her dad. She's like, "Go bestie, get it. Go dad, get it." Like this entire time, like her and Izzy like plot to get them together. And she loves Izzy and Simon. Like she will plot like to get Simon to do things with Izzy like later on because I haven't written it for it in a while. So my story is hard to explain. So here's the short version. My mom wanted a kid, so did my dad. They came up with a way for them to have a kid. I am half warlock and half Shadowhunter. I was raised with Alec, Izzy, and Jace until I was 5. I've changed their ages because my brain forgot things. Then I began to live with my dad and I met Jocelyn. I stayed with my dad until I was 14, sort of. Then I went traveling, trying to learn about my family. That was until my dad told me that what was happening. I returned to help. Then all hell broke loose. So basically, she didn't really ask for help. Magnus told her what was going on in New York. She came back to help, and her best friends find out the truth because they haven't seen her since she was like 5. This is her birthday. So it's been a minute. And so the first one to recognize her is Izzy, because Izzy Uh, and then a lot like Hodge recognized her when she walked in, but like no one like. He didn't recognize her right away. She's like, "When you gave me a weird outfit for my 5th birthday, that sounds like something you would wear now." Like basically, it's kind of that's actually what I wrote. Now I think about it. And then she goes hides in the closet, and yes, she is bisexual like her father. Um, so she's hiding in the closet when Jace walks in. Because at the time Izzy's with Clary trying to help her find an outfit. Jace walks in, it's like, "Yo, you almost ready?" Like, "Oh yeah." Meanwhile, Juliet's hiding in the closet, laughing at the irony of her being in the closet, more to herself. And then all this stuff happens. You get to the club. She finds Jace, tells him. She watches Alex shoot an arrow to save her dad. Or no. Oh, no. Yeah, she sees Alec, avoids looking at him, and so he can't recognize her. And then they get to his place. Alex shoots an arrow, saves her dad. Then he looks at her, recognizes her, and she's like, well, first Magnus goes to check on her room because she had put a glamour on it when she went to see him at the house. Just to make sure her friends couldn't see it, could not recognize any of this stuff, just because they have not seen her in years. And so they don't know that Magnus is her dad. And so Magnus goes in, and she starts freaking out, like, "Oh shit, what's all of her stuff?" And she's like, "Yo, there's a glamour on it." She fixes it. Alec recognizes her, she's like, "Dude, you're an idiot." Then tells them that Magnus is her dad. Says nothing about her mom being Valentine's sister. And other stuff happens. So another character I have is for Leverage, which I need to work on. Oh yeah, that's right. I need to go away, Harrison. Damn it, Hardison. Oh, we all stand Hardison. Oh, okay. OC info. I don't know how to use this app very well. Her name is Ella Morgan. Oh, and also, I don't remember what Tracy looks like, and Juliet looks like her dad mostly. Like she, instead of the cat eyes, she has snake eyes. And so like she does similar stuff to him. She kind of looks just like a female version of him, but with like some attributes of just like, I don't know. She also kind of, now that I think about it, in my head, she kind of, like, personality-wise, she's a lot like Alec. But, like, look-wise, she looks a lot like her dad. So, basically, her best friend was their parent in a way. It's hard to explain her. But, yeah, she's basically, the only real difference, in her look to her dad is that, one, she's a chick, and two, instead of the cat eyes that he has, she has snake eyes, which, now I think is also kind of funny. Anyway. So we have Ella Morgan for Leverage. She is 29, has light brown hair and blue eyes. She usually is wearing jeans, t-shirts, mostly Converse. Hair kind of up like high ponytail. No, which, as I wrote in here, can be used as a weapon. I mean, it can be, depending on how long your hair is. Growing up before anything wrong happened in her life, Ella was a normal kid. She played games, imagined different worlds, kind of like what I do. That all had to change when Ella's father did something she doesn't know how to explain. I don't remember what it was. This led to Ella being raised. Oh yeah, her dad was an idiot and did something stupid. I don't remember what the stupid thing was. So Ella was raised as a con artist since she was 14 with her mom. Learned from a young age there are villains in this world who are as black and white as they are in her stories. So when she was about 20, her and her mom were kidnapped. Her mom was killed kind of in front of her. Before the people could kill her as well, a man came and saved her. Since Ella didn't know his name, she called him Superman because she loved different worlds. When Ella was 24, she was arrested for breaking in, basically into someone's place. In someone's office, actually. She got about 5 years in prison because nothing happened. She just broke in, so it wasn't like she didn't steal anything or anything. She's now out for revenge on those who caused her mom's death. Personality, silent, aggressive, organized, strategic, smart, creative, and stubborn. So very much similar to me because she's my character. So stuff like that. It's a little bit about her. What others do I want to talk about? Let's talk about Abigail Jones, the daughter of Killian Jones in my Once Upon a Time series. She is, yeah, so, hi, my name is Amelia Jones. My parents are Killian Jones and Athena. Yeah, I'm a demigod. But that's a story for another day. I have two children. They're twins. Their names are Killian and Mila Cassidy. Yeah, so I named my kids after their grandparents. Oh, I should mention that Bellfire is their father. My life is really confusing, but I'll explain why later. So, uh, yeah. I also will be changing Neil's death if once upon a time because screw that. So Killian and Mila are her kids. Their full names are Killian Rumpelstiltskin Cassidy, which is funny as hell to me, and it is Mila Athena Cassidy. There's only a few people who know that Athena is her mom. The main person being Neil. And she hates calling him Neil for the life of her, because he'll always be Bellfire to her. But she does it for him. But if it's just them and he knows it's just them, he doesn't care. Which it just makes me feel like their life as kids, because they grew up weirdly. So she was raised on Olympus for a bit, but then Odin, not Odin. Woof. We're getting to Marvel next. But stuff went down with Athena and Zeus and all that jazz. So stuff like that. Okay. So yeah, it's hard to explain. I think that's all I have in here. I think. Okay, so let me go on to my Wattpad really quickly to look at those fics. Cause what am I doing? I need to go. Oh, I'm on the wrong account. Da 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 da. Well, hang on. Let's go into let's see what my published ones are, cause it's easier. So I'm gonna pause real quick. All right, so I found one of my characters on Wattpad. So we're starting off with Taylor Stark. Taylor Stark, or Nightshade, is the adopted sister of Tony Stark. She was raised on Asgard for a time, but then was given to Howard until his death in 1991. Taylor was sent back to Asgard, and she lived there for 7 years. But time moved differently for her in Asgard, so she didn't age much in that time. Certain events led to Odin throwing her out of Asgard and banishing her for the foreseeable future, as he put it. When she got back to Earth, Nick Fury asked her to join his team. She did after listening to his idea. 11 years later, Taylor finally gets to be a field agent, and she has to help the Avengers stop her old best friend from her time on Asgard. Though she knows there's more to the story, because she knows never to judge a book by its cover. She was a great example of that. So, Taylor, as I'm going to just affectionately call her that right now, just because it's easier than calling her Nightshade, is the daughter of the Greek primordial goddess Nyx, as well as Zeus. So, hence the name Nightshade. She is terrifying, in my opinion, because I created her. She was born with the power, within the Tesseract, basically within her, so she can create dimensions. Because her mom was holding onto the Tesseract while helping Odin banish Hela. Ironically, while she was when Nyx was pregnant with her. So she has a very strong connection to Hela. So what Hela likes to do is she'll go and do her dreams. So like every time Taylor dreams at night, she usually gets nightmares unless some specific person is next to her, or the things that led to her banishment the second time happened. And Hela in those dreams, nightmares really. Which honestly, at this point, she's used to. She's just like, okay, what are you gonna throw at me this time? She enjoys them actually at this point. She likes them. It's weird. They're dark. Usually ends up with either Loki being killed or Loki killing her. Never her killing Loki, which I think is funny because Hela's not gonna control her to kill him. So, yeah. So, Loki's the only one who can calm her nightmares. One thing is, she has this weird thing where like her father, like, because Zeus has a control with lightning and all that, her body's almost always like electrified. So most people it would hurt. Like when she was younger, it would hurt anyone who tried to touch her, except for Loki. But she always never understood why. Part of it is because of how much Loki and her connect and whatever it is about them that I can't remember right now. But yeah, so that's one thing. It looks like I won't be actually making part 2. So if you want to stay tuned for the next one, because I'm not making you guys sit through 40 minutes of me talking about OCs in one straight video. That's just cruel, man. That's just cruel. So, the next video I'll probably talk about, let me see what other characters I have in this one. On here. Oh, I forgot about Haven. I'll talk a little bit about my Haven OC. Alright, stay tuned for that.